All right, welcome everyone. My name is Michelle Gonring and this is Haley Stonebarger, and we are here to talk to you guys about a financial checkup. So I'm not sure if any of you have heard of this before, or if you're like, what the heck are these girls talking about? Financial checkups are so important, and we're going to dive into why. So our agenda today is, why do you need a financial checkup? Organizing for your future, 5 important financial checkup activities, how long to keep important documents, and then finally we'll wrap up with how to practice a frugal month. So I don't know about you, Haley, but I'm pretty excited for all this. This is some really good information. So let's dive in. Why do you need a financial checkup? You know, the biggest piece of advice I like to give my members that I work with is we take our physical, mental, emotional well-being so serious. Why are we not doing the same thing with our finances? I mean, for those of you that don't know, Haley and I are both on the community outreach and education team. I'm in the Des Moines market, she's in the Cedar Rapids market, and our full-time job is we actually bring Dupaco in the workplace and we provide free financial literacy. So we run into folks day in and day out that tell us their credit isn't where they want it to be. They have trouble saving. They live paycheck to paycheck. So we live and breathe this every single day. That's why it's so important to take your financial well-being seriously. We go to the doctor, most of us, every year. We go to the dentist, to have our teeth checked, things like that. So why are we not doing the same with our finances? Your financial checkup too is a really great opportunity for you to review your goals, your budget, your investments, and legal documents. So those are kind of what I'm going to dive into first, and really go over with you on how to organize for your future and things like that. So diving right in, when you think about your financial checkup, your financial well-being, you really need to ask those tough questions. They're not fun. Sometimes your finances, they're not really fun, right, Haley?
No, they can be scary.
Yes, it can be really uncomfortable things you don't want to think about, but no, everybody has to think about these things. So first and foremost, when you're coming up with your financial checkup and organizing for the future, you need to think about what would happen if you were suddenly unable to care for yourself in finances. So, if you were injured, or maybe you had dementia or Alzheimer's, something like that, what would you do if you could not make those decisions on your own? So that's something really important to think about. Feel free to jot down some notes too while we talk about this. That's always helpful. And don't be afraid to communicate your wishes to your loved ones. So think about that. And then, do you have a plan in place if you pass away? Haley, I don't know if you do, but I do. I need to work on my will some more.
I need to work on getting it started, but yes, You're right.
Yes. So, you just need to think about these things. Again, it's super, uncomfortable maybe for some people, and nobody likes to think about that stuff, but it's so important when you're planning for your future. So one thing to think about is creating an estate plan. What an estate plan is all about, it's communicating your wishes, maximizing what goes to your heirs, your heirs, yep, and then minimizing taxes and fees. So how can you transfer the most money and assets to your loved ones? This is not something that Haley and I are experts on. This actually requires a financial advisor. Haley and I are not skilled in that area. We help you with the day-to-day finances and things like that, but Dupaco does have some awesome financial advisors through our financial services that can help you with all of this. So again, we're just really trying to get you to think about these things and kind of know where you want to go. If you have very specific questions about that, please give us a call and you can request to be set up with one of our financial advisors, and they're going to take amazing care of you. When you think about these things and organizing for your future, it's also really important to consider any life changes. So any life change would be actually if you got married, had a baby. I did all of that within 3 months last year. So, think about that. You need to think about, like, do you need to change your life insurance policy? Are your accounts set up properly? These are all super important things. A death of a loved one would count as a life change as well. And then, like I mentioned, a birth of a child. Or if unfortunately you get a divorce, those are all things that need to be considered. Haley and I, like I said, we go into the workplace a lot. And we did some benefits meetings this past year. And one thing they said at every single one was, make sure your life insurance beneficiaries up to date, your 401k beneficiaries up to date. Again, these aren't things we like to think about, but the last thing you want is your money to go to the wrong person. So just keep that in mind. You want to make sure all your accounts have the right information, from everything from your phone number, address to that beneficiary. That's super important. I cannot stress that enough. You really should review your accounts at least once a year, and then for any of these life events. This next section is actually my personal favorite. We're going to talk about 5 important checkup activities. So Haley knows I absolutely nerd out for credit scores. Credit scores are my favorite thing ever. So we're going to talk about these 5 important financial checkup activities. And the first one is to check your credit report. So for a lot of you, you're probably like, I don't really understand credit. I mean, I'm older than credit scores. I won't tell you guys how old I am, but I'm older than them, and I'm not that old. So credit scores are kind of newer, and they're constantly changing and evolving. So the reason why you want to check your credit report is because you want to make sure that you're looking for everything to be accurate. Is there any fraudulent activity? I've been doing this 8 years, and I wish I could say every single credit report I've looked at, there hasn't been something at least once that's bubbled up that member didn't know about.
Mm-hmm.
That's just kind of the reality of the world we live in, and things go on. So it's really, really important to check your credit report at least once a year. We recommend that you don't have your credit pulled more than 2 to 3 times a year, just because that can impact your score a little bit. You can also get your free credit report from each credit bureau on a rolling year, not a calendar, sorry. So if you got your one credit report in April from TransUnion, you could ask for it again the next April. What I usually recommend is there's 3 credit bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. If you block that out every 4 months, you can check it constantly throughout the year and make sure you stay on top of things. So quickly though, I would love to just share with you guys a little bit of credit score knowledge. There's 2 things that I like to tell my members, and Haley, please chime in on this.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, Haley and I work with a lot of members that are credit challenged, and they're not sure where to start. So the 2 biggest things I tell people are make sure you pay absolutely everything on time, and make sure you keep those credit card balances low. Those 2 things actually make up 63% of your score. That's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. So on-time payments count, just mean that you pay those on time. A late payment is 30 days late or more. So even if you accidentally mess up and you paid your credit card with us a day or 2 later, maybe your car payment a day or 2 late, that's not going to get reported to the credit bureau. But if you pay it 30 days later or more, it will. And 1 late payment can impact your score up to 100 points. So I'm not saying that to scare you. Just want to be transparent with that. The next 23% is related directly to your credit card usage. So you want to make sure you keep those credit card balances at 30% or less. Now that's not to say if you have an emergency and you need to use it, do what you need to do. Just know if you go over that 30%, it can impact your score. The next 21% of your score is credit age. The longer you keep things open, the better. But now again, if you have a credit card that you're not using and you haven't used it for 5 years, if it makes sense, go ahead and close it. But just know the longer you keep things open, the better. The next 11% is your account mix. So there's actually only 3 types of credit on your credit report, which is mortgages, it's their own entity. Then we have installment loans. So that would be like your car loan, personal loans, student loans are included in that. And then the last is revolving, which would be your credit cards, home equity lines of credit, things like that. And then the last 5% of your score is made up of inquiries. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't want my credit pulled. It might impact my score. For most folks, it impacts approximately 5 points. A lot of people make that up in a month, but try to keep those credit pulls below the 2 to 3 a year. Haley, did I miss anything on that?
That was perfect.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All righty. So the next important financial checkup activity is to save for your goals. I'm also super passionate about saving. I know Haley is. Dupaco makes it so easy for us, guys.
So easy.
So easy. We have these really cool You Name It savings, which allow you to open as many savings accounts as you want. I think Haley and I figured out we have 20 between the 2 of us, and we're not exaggerating. You can have them open for anything, and you can name them whatever you want. So our number 1 You Name It savings in 2022 was actually a vacation fund. I have a vacation fund. I'm sure you do too, Haley.
I do, and my dog also has a savings account.
Yes, our dogs have a savings account. We have one for daycare. All those types of things. You can literally name it whatever you want. And the reason why you do that is because it gives a purpose. if you're saving, I like to call it willy-nilly, you're not going to be focused on saving. You might be like, oh, well, I kind of want to save for a new car, but I'll worry about that next year. This puts a focus on it. This puts an emphasis on it. And then it's really, really important to make saving systematic and automatic.
Or like I say, systemagically.
Yes, Haley says systemagically. I like to call it the crock pot of savings. You said it and forget it. Whichever way you go, just make sure you're making that saving a priority. So what we recommend is that every time you get paid, you set up those automatic transfers that same day so that it goes right in those savings account and you're not tempted to spend it. And that is how you make savings a priority, and that is how you achieve your financial goals.
I mean, it also helps too with budgeting as well.
It does. Yes, that's so important with the budgeting, which we will dive into a little bit in a bit. The next important financial checkup activity is to track your expenses. So you need to know where all your money's going. Now, I will fully admit I might go get chai tea lattes way too much every week. Might have to scale back on that. I know Haley likes Starbucks.
Yep.
We all have our things we like to do. So you just need to know where your money's going. If you feel like you don't have enough money, then we would strongly encourage you to make sure you're writing down every single expense so you know where that money's going. And knowing where your money goes gives you so much knowledge and power and really allows you to make smart spending choices. So however you choose to use your money is your business. We just want to make sure you hit your goals. So if you're kind of struggling with you don't know where your money's going, track it and see where you're at. I'm actually going to turn it over to Haley, who's going to talk about reviewing your insurance policies.
Yeah, I'm actually super excited about this because I just went through this process myself, and it is so simple with Dupaco. And that's something too, like we have been talking about, taking charge of your finances and making those right decisions. And just like your credit score, you should check your insurance policies once a year at least. The cost of insurance rates are going up. It's no secret. So being a smart consumer is super important. Checking it annually is something that you have to do. Our insurance services makes it simple and easy. Check your coverage too after any life events, just like what we talked about, divorce, birth of a child, things of that sort. That's a great time to do so. And also you could save money. Who doesn't like saving money?
Exactly. I love saving money.
So please reach out to our insurance services. They'd love to sit and talk to you, or go into a branch and they can help you set up that appointment.
Awesome. Thank you, Haley. Our final important financial checkup activity is to ask for help. So Haley and I deal with this stuff day in and day out. This is literally our full-time job. We know this frontwards, backwards. We don't expect our members to know that. So if you need help, Dupaco is here to help you. Give us a call. Stop in the branch, chat us. Maybe we come to your work. Ask us for help. We want to help you. And a money makeover is a great, great place to start. What a money makeover is, we check your credit, we look over your budget, and we really help you get started. And we can see, where are some holes in your budget. Could we save you money on a loan? Things like that. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Dupaco is here, and we want to help you build that life worth loving.
And I still do money makeovers myself every year. Just because we teach this doesn't mean we're not missing things as well.
Exactly.
Oh, this is my favorite topic. Love this one. All right, you guys. Who doesn't love to declutter?
I love decluttering.
Okay, I have to. I like to stay organized. So there are a lot of documents out there too that you might be questioning. Do we keep? Do we not keep? My grandma, bless her heart, but she has probably every single document she's ever gotten since she turned 18. So that's a lot of we're going through right now. But there's some documents right up here on the screen too: birth certificates, social security cards, passports, marriage licenses, wills, adoption paperwork, mortgage records. Those are things that we should keep forever, and we need to keep them in a safe place. A great example of that is our safe deposit boxes that you can find at our branches. It's a great option. We don't want to leave those out for people to find, and putting them underneath your bed or in a drawer isn't the safest place to do so. The next slide too, we're going to talk about I think these ones are a little bit more difficult to know when to keep, when to toss. Things like the tax returns, any kind of supporting documents for incomes, selling a house or stock, paid out loans, sold investments, medical records. Those are ones where we kind of question what we do with it. I'm a big believer in staying organized, and I love color coding. So something that works for me might not work for you, but try a different way to keep this organized. I have everything color coded by year. So I know after 7 years, this color gets tossed. Also, too, medical records nowadays can be found online. It's a great place to save them within your hospital records. I'd say keep them there. Also, a great thing about Dupaco is we have those mortgage documents for you online as well. So if you don't have to print it off, I'd say keep it there. It's a safe place to keep it.
It's very safe.
Yes, it is. And these are the ones I feel like pile up really quickly. Bank statements, which I hope everyone has now signed up for e-statements. I mean, it's a great thing to do. You also save the environment.
And you get $5.
And you get $5. Who
Yeah.
doesn't like money?
So if you don't have e-statements, sign up. You get $5 for it.
Pay stubs too. Nowadays, most employers, you can keep those online in an online portal. I suggest doing that as well. Quarterly investment statements, again, keep that on your online banking. And canceled checks is one too that we kind of forget to keep those. I think it's very important so you can go back for your records. I would say keep those in your safe deposit box as well. That's a great place, for people to get your information on those checks. So keep those safe.
And Dupaco scans them for you.
Yeah, and Dupaco, yes, exactly. All right, now here's those credit card statements. I will say it again. I hope you're signed up for e-statements. It's a great way to keep those safe and organized. ATM slips, did you know you should keep those?
I don't even get them.
I
just wait for my text alert.
So if you're one of those people that do get them, please keep those safe for 30 days, but there's no need past that time. Utility bills, again, most of that's found online nowadays. Kick the paper, keep it online. It's a great way to stay organized as well. And also with those, I love to do the automatic payments through online banking. Then I don't forget. So it's a great way to do it. Warranty information, insurance policies, again, those can be found online. Vehicle titles, loan documents, keep as long as active. So if you don't have that vehicle from high school, you probably shouldn't have that document anymore. House mortgage documents, again, online, just keep those on there. Pension records and retirement plans as well. Keep those as long as you need them and they're active. You can keep those in your safe deposit box.
Awesome. Thank you, Haley.
Yeah, of course. Oh, yes, the frugal month.
The frugal
month. All right. Well, we had talked to you about saving money and, taking control of your finances. You have to track your spending.
You have to.
I always say, if you don't know what you're spending, how do you know, how much money you have really, truly? You're just kind of going, willy-nilly on it. And be kind to yourself. We talked about too, that emotional well-being. Finances they're stressful. We all feel it, but as long as you are, feeling like you're doing what's right for you, tracking your expenses, you should be good to go. Determine too where to cut costs. We like to call that holes, finding the holes. So, that could be things that maybe that extra trip to Starbucks, which we're both guilty on, or if you're in my case, going to PetSmart, an extra time for your dog too. So maybe cutting back on those things. Be honest with yourself. It's a need versus wants. Is that something you really need? Discovering your spending baseline. This is your bare bones budget. And something really cool is you can go to dupaco.com and we have a little advice column that can talk to you about how to set up a budget. You can also go into your branch as well, and the branch staff would love to help you with that. And we do it too.
At your work
as well. So that's pretty cool. And then establish that new budget and stick with it too. So give it a shot, try it for a couple of months. Every month's going to be a little different. July is going to look different than December. So, just keep trying and trying and trying. And if you have suggestions or not suggestions, questions, please contact us at Dupaco. We'd love to help.
Awesome. Excellent information.
Yeah.
Frugal months are hard.
They're really hard.
They're so hard because you're not supposed to do those extras and and maybe something comes up. They're tough.
And you have to tell yourself too, like I said, need versus want.
Yep.
So anyway, we're going back to our resources. Please take advantage of that dupaco.com. I kept on saying it. We have so many things on there. We have seminars, webinars, blogs, videos. If you go to our Facebook, you'll see Michelle. She does a lot of videos on there. She's kind of famous.
I am not.
You are. And take care. That money makeover there too. That is, I cannot say it enough. I do that. I'm an employee here and I love it. Stop into a branch, give us a call, check us out at work. We're here to help you.
Perfect. Thank you guys. We hope you have a great day. And again, if you have any questions, reach out to us. We are always here to help and we want to help you build a life worth loving.